Hi guys, welcome to the third video in the Python turtle tutorial. In the last two videos we learned some basic commands for moving the turtle, plus we learned how to change the colour and to change the pen size. In this video we're going to look at a few ways to improve our code to make it more efficient and to make it easier to edit. So you may have created some code like this, where you've got a few lines to create a hexagon, and then when you run the code you realise that you've got the angle wrong and you need to replace all of the 50s with 60s in order to actually get a proper hexagon. And it's a bit annoying to change all of those 50s to 60s, and if there's lots of them, it's quite likely that you're going to make a mistake. So a better way to do this is to use a variable. So you're probably familiar with variables from maths. One way in which computer scientists are better than mathematicians is that computer scientists use sensible names for variables. So we're going to make a variable, we're going to call it angle, and we're going to set its value to 50. We can call this variable anything we like, but angle is descriptive. And then we go through our code and we change all of the 50s to the name of the variable. And we can see our program works just like it did before. So the benefit is that now I've realized my angle should be 60, not 50. I can simply change the single line of code to assign the value to the variable, and that will have the effect of updating the value every time it's used. Okay, so to make sure that is clear, I'm going to give you a moment to take your code for drawing a square and update it to use a variable. Okay, and if you've done that correctly, you should have something like this. You'll notice that I've got two variables, one for the angle and one for the distance. It doesn't matter what you call those variables, but as I say, they should be descriptive. Okay, so variables are useful, but they're even more useful if we can get the user to input values. And to do that, I replace the value that I assign the variable and I replace it with the word input, and then some kind of message in quotes. So in this case I've typed please enter the size because I want this to control the size of the square. And I want this input to be a number, so I have to put the keyword int before the input. Int stands for integer, meaning a whole number. Okay, and if I run my program now, you'll notice at the bottom of the screen, before the Python window appears, I get a little prompt which asks me to enter a number. I'm going to enter 200, and you can see there our window appears and we get a square of size 200 drawn. And you can see if I run the program again, but this time at the prompt I enter 500, again a square is drawn, but this time it's 500 in size. And if I run it again and I enter something like 10, then I get a tiny little square. So input is a really powerful tool because it allows the user to interact with your program. It's really hard to write a very complex program without getting user input. Okay, so this video was a quick overview of variables and input. I'm going to leave you with a few exercises to do to practice those. Remember, you can have as many variables as you want and you can have as many lots of input as you want as well. Variables should be named sensibly, and when you use an input prompt, the message which you put in quotes should be a sensible, meaningful message as well. Okay, here are the exercises.